Welcome to Two Facts and a Clink. Today, we are going to be partaking in some Barefoot Bubbly, which is a California champagne of the Pinot Grigio variety. This has a scale on the back from dry to sweet, and Pinot Grigio is a little bit more towards the dry.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. If I had seen the scale at the store, I probably would have gone with something else.
And just for reference and background information, we don't drink wine a lot. On my behalf, I am a Smirnoff Ice person or a Mike's Hard Lemonade, but not wine unless it's Stella Rosa. So
yeah, so these reviews are going to be slightly biased, but we will give you our honest opinions at the end of the podcast. And for reference, we are going to have timestamps in the description for my fact, Olive's fact, and the review at the end in case you want to skip either of our facts or if you're just here for the booze.
Which we all are.
All right, so now we're going to play rock, paper, scissors to see who presents their fact first. 1 round on shoot.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn. Okay. Scissors beats paper, so I am going to be going first.
Perfect.
All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a niche fact. You'll be very interested if you're into music, listening to music. But this is going to be for audio effects. Or kind of like more specifically like guitar pedal effects.
Okay.
But let me get into it. So
Okay.
I have a few fun facts about a couple different effects. So the first one I have is distortion. So distortion, you've heard if you listen to rock music, it's like the
Okay, got it.
Yes. So the first time that the distorted guitar was on record was when a guitarist poked a hole in his amp, which basically just like destroyed it and made it sound broken.
Oh.
Which it was.
Okay.
But a couple other people really like that sound. So a couple other famous songs like "You Really Got Me" by the Kinks.
Yeah, I need you to give me just like a little
bit of it.
A little bit of it.
Girl, you really got me going.
Perfect. Okay, got it. Ready.
Yeah. Okay. So, but that was like kind of a do-it-yourself thing. You couldn't like reliably recreate it. So the first time that they were able to reliably recreate that was in 1960. When a different piece of equipment malfunctioned. Back then, they were using vacuum tubes for electronics, and a recording studio got some piece of equipment, and a vacuum tube was just destroyed on it, which made the distortion sound again. So they used that in a couple songs that I have never heard before. Don't Worry, played by the A-Team. So it's a little too niche for me. But the engineer in that session built electronics that basically recreated that sound of the distortion. And then he ended up making it small enough to where guitarists could bring it on stage, which made the very first guitar pedal. Then, yeah, they sold it to Gibson, which is like a super, super famous guitar company. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy. They made like 5,000 of them, and literally nobody bought them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But in 1965, Rolling Stones' Keith Richards used one of those guitar pedals in Satisfaction and became super popular from then.
You gonna sing that one for me?
Oh, man. Now that you're like putting me on the spot, I can't remember this one.
Okay, we'll add it. We'll add it. Don't worry.
I can't get no do. I can't get no do. Satisfaction.
Oh, ooh, get it.
Yeah, that's
Get it.
that's basically that one.
I hope so.
Yeah.
If it's not, good luck. Good luck to us.
Yes. Next up is the chorus effect. And so basically, there are very few effects that are more misunderstood than the chorus. But basically, the chorus adds like duplicates of your sound at different pitches, which makes it sound like there's a bunch of people playing the same instrument very similarly.
Interesting.
Kurt Cobain used it in Come As You Are. Come as you are. Yeah.
I didn't even ask you to do that.
Yeah, I knew.
Thank you.
And then like Metallica used a huge amount of chorus in the intro to Enter Sandman.
Okay.
That doesn't have words, so I can't do that.
You could try.
No, I can't. That one is beyond me.
Also, we need to let everybody know that I am a pop punk music fan, and so that's why I'm asking him to sing all these songs, because, you know, I most likely have not heard them.
Yes. So something super interesting about chorus effects is that there is a few instruments that naturally have chorus effects built into them. The main one is a piano. If you don't know, when you hit a key on a piano, there's a little hammer inside the piano that swings and whacks a string.
Yeah.
So technically a piano is a stringed instrument.
What?
Yes.
No.
But what is super interesting is that the low notes on the piano use a single string and they're extremely loud. Mm-hmm. But since the high notes are super quiet, they actually use like 3 to 4 strings per key. So every time you hit a note on a piano on like the higher end, you're actually hitting multiple strings at the same time with one hit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and they are actually all specifically tuned not to the exact same thing, but slightly different to recreate a chorus effect.
Can you retune them if they break?
Yes, that is a job.
Oh.
There's like piano repairmen.
I love that.
Yes. Next up is an accordion. An accordion has 2 or 3 reed blocks, almost to the same pitch, but one of them is like a little bit sharp, which gives the accordion its classic like whiny, terrible noise, which is my opinion. And then another one is a sitar, which is a like Indian instrument. Something that is incredible about that is that a sitar has from 18 to 21 strings on it, but only like 6 or 7 of them are actually meant to be played. The other ones just vibrate and like create kind of like a background chorus noise. So when you see a sitar, it looks pretty intimidating with like a couple dozen strings, but it is a lot easier than it looks. Not easy, but easier than it looks.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Oh.
Yeah, the strings they actually like run underneath the frets, so they're like really hard to play because they're not supposed to be played.
I feel like, do you have to have long arms to hold this thing?
No, you just like put it in the middle of your lap.
Oh, so you're sitting down for this.
Yeah. It's like
beautiful.
A keyboard.
Love it.
Sweet. And then my last effect, and this is what kind of like brought this up to me, is reverb. Reverb, short for reverberation, that's the sound of like when you're in a large empty room and it like slightly echoes.
Okay.
That is what reverb is. And so like the first like creative use of reverb like on a record is credited to the Harmonic Hats, Peg Oh My Heart.
Oh.
Yes, and it is very interesting that the way that they created that reverb is they just played the song in the bathroom and recorded it. Yeah. So that's the sound of them being in a bathroom.
Lovely.
Yes, and that is something that has continued into the modern times. A surprisingly amount of songs are just recorded in the bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah. Like Where Is My Mind by the Pixie.
scene?
That's at the very end of Fight Club when all the buildings are exploding.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, fun fact there. But basically the earliest like artificial reverb effects was they would just take like a recording of music and play it in like a big empty room, like a bathroom, and then just record that. So they were just recording a record in a big empty room.
Oh.
And then the first time that they were able to kind of like record the reverb as they were playing was they would hook up a giant metal plate to like the output of what the artists were playing, and they would just play the music into this giant metal plate and then record that sound.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me a visual about where in proximity.
So basically, like, think of a band in a studio.
Okay.
And like they're in their room,
Yeah.
and you have like the sound engineer. In a box next to the sound engineer, there was like a giant metal plate just hanging there.
Oh.
And they would have a speaker type thing
Yeah.
play into that giant metal plate, and it would make the plate vibrate, which would create those like reverberations.
Got it.
Yes. And so they did that, and then that's actually like a setting on some like guitar pedals to this day is plate reverb, because it creates like a unique kind of sound.
Cool.
Another example of that is spring reverb, which is basically the same thing, but they play the music into a spring and then record the sound off of that.
That's cool.
Yes, and they actually have like created guitar pedals. And I guess it's a little late for this, but a guitar pedal is a little box that you have on stage with you while you're performing. And you can hit buttons with your feet because you're playing instruments with your hands.
Okay.
So that's why it's called a pedal.
Yeah.
But they're pretty small boxes. They're about the size of your hand.
If I assumed.
Okay.
I assumed.
Just for everybody else. You know, I should have gone over that earlier. But they ended up making spring reverbs in guitar pedals. And so they would have a box the size of your hand with a spring in it. And then you'd play your music on the guitar.
Yeah.
The music would go from your guitar into the spring, out of the spring to the speakers. And you had to be really careful not to kick them while you were playing music, because it would shake the springs.
Oh no.
And just make horrible noise.
It could make a cool noise, I feel like. I don't know what.
It probably could. I mean, I'm sure somebody picked it up and shook it around for like sound effects.
Oh,
or
somebody
something.
for sure had to.
Definitely.
I would.
But like the spring reverb and reverb kind of in general became super popular with like surf musicians.
Surf musicians?
Yeah, so like down 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 down
Yeah.
down 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 down. Yeah.
That does... Okay, I got it. I got it.
Thank you. Yeah, but those are my facts.
Oh, those are your facts.
Yeah, that is my presentation. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Those were pretty interesting. I know Earl really does love music, and, he's been wanting to learn, like, the ukulele, guitar. He asked me to get him a guitar pedal for Christmas, but I also don't know what I'm looking for, and so...
So all I got was disappointment. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you had a good Christmas.
I did.
It's not about the presents. It's about my presents.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okie dokie. Don't worry, I say okie dokie a lot, and it's fine at this point in my life. I'm 25, and I can do what I want.
Okie dokie.
New year, new me. So I'm letting you all know right now at this point in time, I am halfway through my very good glass of whatever it was at the beginning of the podcast.
Barefoot Bubbly Pinot Grigio edition.
Yeah, that. And I'm going to be honest, the reason I was interested in this one is because we've been watching Vanderpump Rules. So,
ooh, good show. You should check it out. I'm not being paid to say that. You should.
You really should. You really should. Okay. So, with that, I have a lot of liquid courage in me. My palms are still sweaty, but we will continue with my fun fact. It's a fun fact to me. It's a fun fact.
I'm sure it's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. I might not know all the research behind it, but I can present it.
That's probably what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, a few days ago, I was browsing TikTok because that's what I do in my downtime and after I need to decompress after a long day. It's not really the most ideal way that I would like to decompress, but, that's what I have at this moment in time. I am slowly changing my app screen time each week, so I will be decreasing that eventually at some point so I can get a decent amount of sleep.
Good idea.
I know, I need it. So while I was browsing, this video from an account called Gloss came up on my feed, and it was this scene of starlings that were creating kind of all of these sorts of shapes and figures, and it blew my mind. I was like, I've never seen something like this. And it was so beautiful. Like, I had to rewatch it numerous times. I'm pretty sure I gave them like 100 more views because I just kept watching it. And so now I'm going to show that video to Earl so he knows kind of what I'm talking about because it's not something that I've originally showed him before. So I will get that on here and show it to him.
Okay. So while you're doing that, can you explain what a starling is?
It's a bird.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Is a bird. I'm going to let you know on a scale of 1 to 10, I am probably like a 6 right now. So my words are slurred at this point. This video has over 5 million views. 5.0 million views. But press play on my video.
Okay, that one looked like a dick.
Don't worry about it. There's a couple that look like dicks, but we appreciate them anyways. So, with this video, I added it to my serotonin boost collection because I like to watch videos in my serotonin boost collection when I'm feeling a little down, right?
Right.
I had to burp. That's why I paused.
It's Barefoot Bubbly.
It is. And kind of with watching this video, it allowed me to pause and kind of appreciate the beauty that the natural world has. So kind of with that video, I didn't really know what was happening. I was like, why are these birds doing this? Why is this happening? What's the reason? And so that's when I started kind of looking more into it. And it came to the phenomenon that is called murmuration.
Ooh.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
It's good when hearts do it. Or no, it's good when birds do it. It's bad when hearts do it.
Yes.
Heart murmurs?
Yes. Agreed. But definition-wise, so murmuration is a large group of birds, so usually starlings. Well, starlings are, from what I found, and I could be wrong, are the only birds that do this murmuration thing.
That's crazy.
I know. And so they all fly together and change direction together. That is the basic definition of it. And so this changing of directions, kind of creates these beautiful shapes and dicks at some points in time.
It happens.
But it also incorporates the proximity of the birds, the speed, and those kind of create all these shapes all together. So these murmurations occur within the migration months of these starlings. And so I've seen a few different answers with it. So I'm just gonna broadly speak and say these happen strictly between the months of September to March-ish, or when it gets warm. At least that's what I was seeing online when I was looking all of this up. And these things normally happen at the points where they roost.
Oh, so you could kind of find where they live.
Yes. Yes. So definition wise, roost is the place where they regularly settle or congregate at night.
Okay.
This podcast is off to a very great start, as you can tell. So the best time to kind of see these are when it's sunset, dusk, that kind of time frame, because they are all getting together to kind of return to their spot to rest. And so I kind of just kept looking into it because, like I said, it's beautiful. I have the video attached down below in the description so that you all can see this video. But kind of going along the lines that Earl had, kind of with music and sound in a way. The sound is something that is super fascinating with these murmurations. So the starlings in this like phenomenon can go anywhere from like 500 starlings to like easily thousands. Yeah.
That's insane.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Kind of glad that like crows don't do that. That'd be so scary.
It would be the end of the world. So you can imagine kind of the sound of all those wings just flapping and the noise that kind of comes from it. And so I have another video that I am going to show Earl in the meantime so that he can kind of hear what the sound is like.
Yeah, I was not expecting all of the burps that were going to come from the bubbly, but in hindsight, it makes sense.
It does make sense. But also, next time we're going to start off not drunk or tipsy.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like rain.
It's cool, right? I'll link this video too so that you all can see it. I'm sure you can probably hear like some noise of it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Super cool. Super duper cool. And so basically like the sound to me, it sounds like ocean waves. And
okay.
And it sounded like rain to you.
Yeah.
And so it's super interesting just like the interpretations that you can have from that. So like I said, I heard ocean waves.
I could see that too though.
Yeah. And I love that sound because the sounds of waves crashing just kind of brings me to this calm point, right? Where I can just sit and ponder and, feel at peace for a second. And so I feel like if I saw these in person, I'd be solid. I would be at peace.
I know. We would probably just stay there for like hours.
Too bad it doesn't last for hours.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep. It does not last that long. It's usually about an hour or so. So, I mean, we could be there for a little bit.
Honestly, that's good. Or else we'd be there for too long.
I would be there for way too long. And the kind of cool thing about these murmurations is that it's still being researched as to why they do it. And so scientists have come up with different reasonings as to why they do it. And kind of one of the top reasons that they came up with it, with the reason why they do it is to protect themselves, obviously. So
from what?
Predators, duh.
But like, how is that gonna protect them?
Because we have always heard in like movies and TV shows, like, we're stronger together. We're stronger as a pack. That's why animals. That's why animals travel in packs to protect themselves.
Okay.
And
I feel like there definitely could be more research into this.
Oh, there 100%. There is 100% more research, but protection and weather, like migration patterns, was the reasonings behind some of the scientists, But another kind of fact about it, so Princeton University, I will link their reference because I am citing them and I am a professional.
There you
go. So they also discussed that the starlings can be in this optimal balance by responding to like the social cues of the neighboring birds in them. So there's a magic number for the starlings to kind of see which way they need to go. So they keep a focus on this magic number, and I want to know, what do you think that number is? Out of thousands.
Thousands? 3?
3? Close. It's 7.
Dang, that was my second guess. I swear to God, that was my second guess.
It's 7. So an individual bird will follow 7 of its neighboring birds to see what the pattern, to see where they need to go. And so out of these like flocks of like hundreds or thousands of birds, so finding that balance is just relying on 7 neighboring ones, which is super cool, right?
Yeah. Makes me think of like the man-o-war jellyfish, because like the man-o-war jellyfish, we call it the man-o-war jellyfish, but it really is like thousands of like little tiny animals put together.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like kind of similar to that. It's just like they work together and they create this jellyfish.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. We'll have to talk about that in another podcast.
It's too late. I already gave it away.
No, you didn't. Kidding. I don't know anything about that. And so it's interesting that these like 7 neighboring starlings kind of put together and create all of these shapes. And I think we can kind of incorporate that a little bit into kind of our life. Like there's not one leader, you know? There's multiple leaders in these murmurations. And they still come together and create these beautiful scenes. And I hope you all will watch the video that I have posted. Well, the 2 videos, I guess, I've posted at this point. Because it's beautiful. And it's definitely something that I would love to experience and be able to see. I haven't been able to find a place in Utah because, I don't know.
That's where we live.
Yeah, that's where we live. But I haven't been able to, like, pinpoint a place where I can see that. But a lot of the places I've seen this happen is in Europe. So maybe we will just have to take a trip out there.
Gonna have to go at the right time.
Yeah. And
interesting.
That's my fun fact.
Okay. Do you know if there is any, like, in America?
There are.
Oh, okay.
Starlings are... Oh, I looked it up. Now I can't remember. But...
Okay. No worries.
There are European starlings, but they are in North America. And so there's a few states that I saw that, had the opportunity to see them. But
I mean, I bet the interesting thing is like one year they can be in one area, but obviously they do it where they roost. So it's like they will probably not be in the same area the next year.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and they're usually, I think they originate from Europe, and so I want to say they are an invasive species in the United States. So when I was looking it up, like, there were a couple of places. The video was from Italy, but...
From Gloss.
No, that's...
Oh, the second one.
No. Gloss is the account.
Yeah. From Gloss.
From Gloss, yeah. Okay. I thought you meant like a city. No. The account's name was Gloss, and I will give them the credit. But no, so they said that when they migrate, they migrate in Europe, and all of these starlings from all over Europe come together in one place, and that's what, brings the numbers up to like thousands.
That's insane.
It's so cool. It's beautiful.
I know. Dang. I know. I seriously want to see, like, the biggest murmuration.
Yeah.
Like, that's just got to be intense.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to let you all know, a couple of years ago, Earl and I at one point wanted to do a big year.
A big year, yeah.
We wanted to do a big year.
I wanted to be Jack Black.
Basically, yes. And so, if you don't know what a big year is, I suggest you go look it up or watch the movie. Or Earl can explain it at some point in this podcast.
I don't know. A big year, that seems like it's too prestigious for me.
Oh, we're not there yet.
No.
We're at one
maybe
point.
Like 10 years from now.
Maybe. That feels like something I would do in my 30s. But yeah, so that is my fun fact.
Very good. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, are you ready to review the Barefoot Bubbly?
Yeah. Did you drink the rest of it?
Yeah, I chugged it out of the bottle while you were talking.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
I saw that your cup was still, like, pretty full, so.
No, I drank a lot.
Okay.
I drink a lot.
All right. So, Barefoot Bubbly Pinot Grigio. What would you give it on a scale from 1 to 10?
8.
8?
Yeah.
I honestly would agree, like an 8.5. It was so much better than I was expecting it to be.
Way better. Like I said earlier, we are not wine drinkers. We are not anything besides beer and Smirnoff ices. But this was amazing, and I'm very picky about my wine when I do drink it. And so I would give this is a lot of plus points for me.
I would agree. It was very good.
It will make you burp.
Yes. I'm going to read the back to you. I didn't realize it had this description. I would have read this at the beginning, but here we are now. So, Barefoot Pinot Grigio California Champagne has refreshing hints of citrus and aromas of sweet orange blossoms. Enjoy alone or with fresh fruit and light desserts.
Oh,
cheers.
Very nice.
What do you think? Did you taste the hints of citrus and aromas of sweet orange blossoms?
I don't know what a sweet orange blossom tastes like. Oh, aromas? Is that a smell? Let me smell it real quick.
I mean, I feel like I could. But also...
I don't know. I don't know how that all works.
I could taste a little bit of citrus.
I could taste citrus. Yeah. For sure. It's a good description.
Yeah, I would say you should definitely go for the Barefoot Bubbly. It was $14. It was a fun buzz.
It was a fun buzz for you.
What does that mean?
It means I have said what I needed to on this podcast, and this was a very good start to a first episode.
Agreed. All right, anything else?
No, I think that's all that I kind of have. I mean, be kind to yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day or week or whenever you listen to this podcast. If you listen to the whole thing. But definitely.
And if you didn't, don't enjoy your day.
Have the day that you deserve. But no, seriously, be kind to yourselves. The world is definitely kind of a hard place sometimes. So take that time for yourself.
All right. I hope to see you in the next one.